A little bit of breaking news for you here. If you are born in the United States, you are an American. That is not breaking news. That is something that is written in our Constitution and has been true for the duration of our republic. That said, when Donald Trump was sworn in for his second term 30 days ago, he signed an executive order that proclaimed that to no longer be true. This, of course, was immediately challenged in court. And among the federal courts it was laughed out of was one in Washington State, a Seattle-based federal judge ruled that Trump's executive order could not go into effect. The judge passed an injunction against the executive order going into effect. The Justice Department, or the Trump administration then appealed that. They've appealed it to the Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, which sits on the West Coast. And tonight, a three-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit has just declined the Justice Department's request to get rid of that judge's injunction to let Trump's executive order go into effect. The reason this is important is because this sets up potentially a rocket ship, very quick trip to the United States Supreme Court. When Trump passed this executive order, he knew, he had to know, that it was blatantly unconstitutional. The point of passing it anyway, of signing it anyway, was to get the Supreme Court to rule to effectively change the Constitution, to make it so that if you're born in this country, you are no longer a citizen. With this ruling tonight from a three-judge panel in the Ninth Circuit, this would appeal to be teed up for a challenge directly to the U.S. Supreme Court. One of the first matters that Trump has provoked a conflict with U.S. law and constitutional understanding about that is going to the Supreme Court. This ruling just in moments ago from the Ninth Circuit. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. Now it's time for the last word with the great Lawrence O'Donnell.
Rachel, so this was one of those nights when I'm walking through the hallways to get here, and the silent TV monitors that I'm walking by show you with some pretty important breaking news about birthright citizenship, and I can't hear a word of it. All I know is there's this thing at the bottom of the screen that says, you know, this really important thing has happened. I've taken a quick look at the breaking news report on it, and it's a Trump-appointed judge is saying, no, you know, this case can be handled through the standard procedures and it's not an emergency. We don't have to go into an emergency mode to deal with your attempt to, like, hand rewrite the Constitution.
Yeah, and it's very well written. It's written like in non-legalese. Yeah. Judges are charged to reach their decisions apart from ideology or political preference. When we decide issues of significant public importance and political controversy, hours after we finish reading the final brief, we should not be surprised if the public questions whether we are politicians in disguise. In recent times, nearly all judges and lawyers have attended seminar after seminar discussing ways to increase public trust in the legal system. Moving beyond wringing our hands and wishing things were different, one concrete thing we can do is to decline to decide or pre-decide cases on an emergency basis when there is no emergency warranting a deviation from our normal deliberate practice. Because they are going to appeal this on an emergency basis to the Supreme Court. And here's this appeals court judge in the Ninth Circuit being like, this is a lot of things. An emergency is not one of them. You're just trying to change the Constitution.
Yeah, and this is the same Supreme Court that was in absolutely no rush to hear Jack Smith's appeal to the Supreme Court about the whole issue of presidential immunity. They wanted to deal with that one as slowly as they possibly could.
Yeah. But this one is Trump trying to change the Constitution so you're no longer an American if you're born in America. Mm-hmm. The idea that this has to be taken up on some emergency basis. I mean, we'll see what the Supreme Court does as Justice Department tries to rocket this to the Supreme Court. But this pushback from this three-judge panel at the Ninth Circuit is pretty strong.
Yeah, Trump's on a losing streak with this one so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you, Rachel.